All right, fresh off a 5,000 meter gold in Tokyo, Susannah Scaroni, you are on a real roll going into marathon season. You come home, you want to do a little stretching of your wings to get your wind back before a marathon season. What happens? You get hit by a car.
Yes, that is pretty much how it went.
I mean, take us to that morning. I mean, I've raced enough that I've been hit by a car a couple of times too, but it sounds to me like your injuries were pretty significant. How's your health?
Well, thanks for asking. It was a morning where I was training early, so I got into Drez where we store our racing chairs, and it was really bright that morning. So I was thinking like I need to wait for it to be light enough to train, because it was going to be a little earlier than my teammates. But it was really sunny that morning. So I went out for training, and I was going on a route that we've taken for the last 10 years, and just all of a sudden I noticed that I was moving very quickly, and the next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and there was a car stopped ahead, and the man was coming out to see if I was okay, and I was away from my racing chair, and I kind of put things together about what had happened.
Wow. At this point now, I saw you in a body jacket a couple of times on some Facebook posts, and it looks like you're in a rehabilitative stage. How long do you think it'll be before you're back out racing?
That's a great question. I met with my spine surgeon on Monday, and so that was my 6-week follow-up appointment. And what kind of the plan is now is I'm still wearing my back brace. It's underneath my shirt right now, so you can't see it. But I will continue to wear it for the next 6 weeks, and we'll do another X-ray at that point, and most likely I'll be able to take it off at that point, and then try to really do the exercises I've been doing now without the brace, and just continue to strengthen my back. And then I think we'll be able to make more informed ideas about when I can actually get in my racing chair.
Excellent. All right, Susannah, let's go ahead and revisit the games in Tokyo. I turn on the TV, and there you are in the 5,000 meters, which is an event I like a lot. 12 laps is enough time for strategy to happen. Some of the shorter races, even down to 1,500 meters, you got to get out fast. But 5,000 is a good strategic race. And I saw you pretty well control that race start to finish. So you come through the line, you've got a gold, and you must be thinking to yourself, in the humblest of ways, I think I might have a few more gold medals in me.
Yeah, I definitely felt a different. I had a different read on the field after that race. But you never know. Like you said, the 5,000 isn't really indicative of how a sprinting race is going to go. So I can't say I had that much confidence going into the 15 and the 8. But I did. I was surprised and shocked after the 5, and very thankful that I had gotten to be a part of that.
Well, you're ranked number one American in the 15, the 5, and the 8. And so let's go ahead and fast forward to the 1,500 meters. The 1,500 meters is, like we just talked about, it's 4 laps. You got to get out quick. Now, I started to feel just terrible for you guys because day after day after day, it just keeps raining. I mean, at some point, you're almost looking for a rowboat. And I could tell by the splash off the track, it was pretty unpleasant.
That is a really good read on that situation. It was it poured rain, and as you know, as a wheelchair racer, that is very much less than ideal. And yeah, I have to admit, I was not prepared for pushing in the rain, and it showed in how, like you said, you want to start off quickly in the 15. My plan going into that race was to go all out the entire time. And it didn't last long because I actually I slipped from the rain. So if you think about where we actually contact our racing chair, it's on a push rim, and that's coated in rubber. So I coat mine with a rubber tire. And my glove surface also I coat with rubber. And so when you add rain into that mixture, you lose all of your, or almost all of your friction and ability to generate friction. So what happened to me was I slipped off the hand ring and went inside my quad spoke and like into the axle. So as I was rolling forwards, I wedged my hand in there and like hyperextended my wrist, and my glove was actually stuck inside my wheel, so I had to take my glove out of my hand to actually get my hand out.
Hey, Susannah, real quick, let me jump in. Why don't you? I know you've got that glove close by. I want to give people an idea of what exactly it is this pushing apparatus looks like, and then we can talk a little bit more about it.
That's a great question. So I think it's common that people think we grasp our hand rim like we do in our normal daily wheelchairs. However, in the racing chair, we don't do that. We actually punch a hand ring. And so as you can see, my fingers are grasping the glove. They're not ever going to grasp my wheel or my hand ring. They are going to be inside this glove, and the glove itself is going to contact my hand ring and create force on this rubber surface. This very small rubber surface right here.
Right. Now, I know also that you guys tend to apply some kind of a sticky substance. People call it clister or resin or whatever. And, having been in this very situation myself, I know sometimes if it's a little cold or if it's a different level of wet, that's where the slipping can take place, and or too much contact and you get stuck on the hand rim. So I went back and I rewound it, and I saw immediately people are like, oh my God, Susannah Scaroni, she's fallen off the back. And I saw immediately that your glove dropped to the track. Now I know what this looks like. What in the heck are you thinking? I mean, there's just not enough time to really make up this ground, but you didn't quit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I really just, was like, I can still give everything I have, and you never know what will happen. The day, or earlier that day, I think it was, the prelim had gone really slowly. And so I was like, you know what, there's always a chance in that group that maybe I could make it up. There's not really a chance, but you never know. It was slippery. So I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. There's 4 laps to go. I'm just going to try. And that's what I was going through my mind. And, I didn't slip another time in that entire race. So I'm not sure exactly why I had to slip off the start, but I just wanted to keep trying.
Well, you came back and you captured an 800 bronze, which is, obviously very respectable, finish and a great medal. And then comes marathon day. And guess what? It's raining. It got to the point where it was almost comical for us watching this at home. So in the marathon, it's pretty dicey. I mean, you guys had a really nice pack. I mean, really super high quality racers. And you decided to take a dash off the front rather than staying in the pack. Why did you do that? And did you think that was what was going to give you the extra boost to maybe break the field? Or were you just trying to stay out of the wet?
I'm glad that you asked that. I think it's nice to be able to clarify from my perspective what I chose to do. So as we just talked about, off the start of the 1500 is where I slipped into my wheel. And so I learned from that, and I did not want to start off quickly because we still had 2 laps on the track before we entered the marathon road course. So because it was raining, I started off very conservatively. I just wanted to make sure I was getting contact with my hand rings. And that put me in the very back of the entire field, like you just said. And it is a great field. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, this is good. I didn't slip. But then, when it's like a lap and a half into it and I was in the very back of the field, I knew that we would be exiting the track through this narrow, road that goes out of the track and onto the actual street. And that was going to be an uphill. And then we were going to have 5 kilometers about of downhill after that. And to me, what I was thinking was this is exactly the last place you want to be when you're going up a hill, up a narrow hill, and then downhill. Especially for me, I'm not the best at downhill accelerating. And I knew there were a lot of really, really good women who just fly down hills. So I didn't want to be completely lost from them from the very beginning. So my thought process was I'm going to come around and be at the front of this pack while we go up the narrow hill and then down the road. So I'm not, trying to fight through other athletes going down a hill where it's not my strength in the rain. And so honestly, that was my only thought process, was I just didn't want to be in that one early tactical spot, being the very back of the entire field. I didn't foresee nobody coming with me, and that I wouldn't see them again for 24 miles. That part still blows my mind to this moment that happened. I just think, I don't really know what happened there. It wasn't my intention, because I do know how strong, and I have the most respect for that field. It wasn't like I was thinking, I'm going to break away from a marathon at the very start. It was just the way the start was designed wasn't a good time to be in the very back of the field.
I understand that. And also sometimes things just happen improvisationally too in a marathon. And it was a great field. I mean, Di Rosario, she came onto the track. She never let Char go by. Char made a really nice charge. But yeah, you guys really provided us with some excellent racing in Tokyo. She's an American record holder in the marathon. She's been and still holds a world's best in the 10K and earned 5,000 gold. Susannah, thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you so much.